Okay, so we're in Marylebone. This is where we had our £5.5 million development. And when we bought it, it was a working mechanics. It was on the market with Savills, one of the biggest agencies in the world, for like a year. 3 developers tried to buy it, and for each one of them, the deal fell through. But we found it and we bought it. It's a 14-year lease that we paid for 1.6 million. And this is what it looks like now. So I'm going to take you on a little tour today and show you exactly how we did it, the reasons we bought it, the basis for our appraisal, and how we turned it into the beauty that it is today.
And I want you to hold on to one thing for this whole video. Every single reason those other developers walked away is a reason we made money. Every problem was a door they couldn't see through. Watch how many times that happens. But first,
let me guess where you are on property right now. Maybe you've seen a site and you like the look of it, but you don't quite know how to appraise it. People are telling you something wrong with it. There's planning risk, there's a covenant issue, there's something else that you don't know about, it's too much work. And people are saying walk away, and you don't know how to make the decision on whether it's right for you or not. Maybe you're thinking like, how do people like me find deals like this? Appraise them, know if it's a good deal or not. And the thing is, it's never about finding a perfect deal. Like, perfect deals don't exist. If there was a perfect deal, somebody else would have bought it a long time ago. The trick is knowing how to turn a project into the perfect deal. So when we bought this, it was a 14-year lease. 3 people had tried to buy it before us, and it hadn't gone through. They couldn't get past the covenants in the lease. They didn't know how to enfranchise the lease. They didn't know how they were going to buy the freehold. Maybe they didn't know how to get planning to turn it from a 2-story house into a 4-story house that we have today. You know, we knew that we could do that, and we set about making money from this project in 3 ways. The first way we made money with this project is that the lease was only 14 years, so that's non-mortgageable. We knew that the Howard de Walden, which is the landed gentry in Marylebone, had the freehold for this. So the first thing we did was we went and negotiated with the Howard de Walden to buy the freehold, and we managed to get a great price on the freehold, so we created a lot of margin there. Secondly, planning. So before, it was a ground and first floor garage. There were 2 open garages here. We used permitted development, which is a planning right, to do a basement below. So we had a permission to do a basement without requiring planning permission. And straight away, we did a basement to excavate. Once we completed the basement, we then got planning from a local architect to tear the rest of the structure down and rebuild with 3 stories above ground. So now we've got a huge basement below, which is a party media room and family room and a cinema room. On this floor, we have some bedrooms. On this floor, we've got a big open plan kitchen, living, dining, and on the top floor, we've got a master suite. And there's a lovely roof terrace at the back of the building as well. And then thirdly, design. You know, we used some of the best designers in this project and put the design together in such a way that it created a lot of demand from that perspective. And that's how we added value. Like, for example, we're in Marylebone, right? So it's nice to have some quirky details. I love this door knocker. There was actually also one more way that we added value to this project here. We're standing right now on a very quiet little Mews Street right off Marylebone High Street, which is a busy road full of people and full of traffic. But we're standing here and it's completely quiet. And the reason for that was, when we moved in here, we worked with the Residents Association and the council to change this road to be one-way only. So at the moment, you're only allowed to enter from this end and exit at that end. Before, you were allowed to go both ways, which meant it became like a cabbie cut through. But now, because it goes this way and you actually the shortcut is that way, there's no traffic and only residents come and use it. And that transformed the value of the street because it becomes a quiet little quaint street rather than a little busy thoroughfare. So I guess a lot of other developers had looked at this and thought, this is a lot of headache. But for us, that was a lot of opportunity. That headache is leverage. So let me run you through the numbers in this one. 14-year lease. We paid, I think, 1.375 million for it actually. Then plus stamp and plus cost took us around 1.6. Then we negotiate the freehold purchase. And I think we paid little over £1 million for the freehold. So that takes us to 2.6. Then we had the works that we did for the project. Now the works bill came in at 1.1 million. So that is 3.6. And the end value, 5.5. But the difference on this project, what we did was that we sold it with the planning. So the play on this one was that we bought the short lease, we enfranchised it, we bought the freehold, added a ton of value. Then secondly, we got the planning permission. Well, we did. First we did the basement, food permitted development, then we got planning permission to knock the whole thing down. And then we sold the house with planning permission to an end user, meaning that we banked our £1.5 million profit at the start of the development rather than at the end. And then the developer, or sorry, the end user paid us 1.1 million to build it for him. So it was a perfect back-to-back planning uplift deal, but we added value from multiple strategies. It's not just one strategy you rely on to add value. For us on this one, it was two key markers, two key strategies that were both imperative to this deal making sense for us. One, that we could add enough margin by buying the freehold, and our calculations showed that we could. And secondly, gaining the planning that we needed. First, we knew we could get the basement, because that we could get permitted development, but we didn't know is that we'd be able to get planning for the rest of the project. But if you can see, we knew that all the neighboring houses had 3 stories. So we were very confident we'd be able to get a story above. And then we took planning. The planning was to knock the whole thing down and rebuild it. I've been doing developments like this for 20 years, and this project is one of the clearest examples about how the biggest problems in property are actually the biggest opportunities in disguise. So let me give you a few takeaway points from this project. Firstly, we knew that we were buying it at the right price. We had a risk analysis done, so we knew that our 2 value-add strategies were solid. Firstly, we knew that we could add value through buying the freehold, but it wasn't our only value-add strategy. We also knew there was big planning uplift gain to be made on this. So when you've got a site which got 2 strategies for value-add, it completely knocks it out of the park rather than relying on one strategy. And that's what makes great developers. And sometimes the deal that everyone walks away from is where all the money is hiding. So if you're interested in doing planning uplift deals, just like we did here, have a look at Land Capital. We'll show you how we do exact deals exactly like this, and if you find one, we'll fund it in partnership with you. Check out the link below. Check out the link below.
Someday, I wanna lay down like God did.